Hello everyone, let's talk about an easy problem on Leetcode today. Sum of all subsets or totals, 1863. The XOR total of an array is defined as the bitwise XOR of all the elements, or 0 if the array is empty. For example, the XOR total of the array 256 is 2 XOR 5 XOR 6. So given an array nums, return the sum of all XOR totals for every subset of nums. Node subsets with the uh, same elements should be counted multiple times. An array A is a subset of an array B if A can be obtained from B by deleting some possibly 0 elements from elements of B. So that's how they define the subset. Now they have given some example. For example, in the example 1, we see that the num says 1 3, so we can, like, if you know, we have already seen the subsets problem, and we know that a number of subsets for a given array of size n, it will be 2 to the power of n. So in this case we will generate 4 subsets because there are 2 elements, and first is like an empty set, so it will return 0. Then we have 1 and 3, which will, because they are just one number, we will get 1 and 3 as it is, and then eventually 1 and 3 come together, so it will be 1 or 3 is equal to 2. So that should be our answer. So this problem is actually twofold. First we generate basically the subsets, and then we XOR all the elements in the subset together. So I will actually reuse the backtracking solution that we covered there. Note that this problem is marked as easy here, but the subsets problem is marked as medium, maybe because we have solved the subset, so maybe they think it's relatable and that's why it's easy. But technically this could have also been marked as medium. So now let's jump into the solution space. So the idea is that suppose we are given an input array 1 2 3. So we will try to just generate the subsets in the from the array. So we can either include the element in the subset, or we don't, right? At each level. So suppose we start with number 1, then we actually see that can we actually include this number in our set. If we include, then it will become 1. If we don't, then we get an empty set. Similarly, for 2, now we will do the same thing. Should we include 2 in the set or not? So suppose we include it, becomes 1 2. If we does an empty set, then we will just get 1. Similarly, now we again do it for the empty set we had here. So either we include, then it will be 2. If we not, then stay empty. Then we come to like for third element, which is 3, and we know that this is the last element, so this is where our DFS will end. So it will be like 1 2 3 if we include it, and then we XOR it out, right? Similarly, 1 2 if we again if we don't include it, and then we XOR these elements. Then 1 3 is also, what you say, if we include a 3 again for this case. Similarly, 1 2 3, then 2 3, and the empty subset. In this case we will return 0. So this is how we get the XOR total of each set from the array, and then we sum them up, and that is our answer. Now let's see how we can code it out. So here also what we will need is we will start with the DFS, right? And we will just pass in numbers and the starting index 0, our current value of the XOR. So it will be 0. And compared to the DFS we did in the subset solution, this time the DFS will return the value. And the reason is that Java is passed by value. So if I pass the integer as a fourth argument here, that will not easily work until unless I pass some in array or something. So that's why that's the only change compared to that solution. DFS, right? And we will need input numbers. We will need the starting index. So it can be end of the array as well. And our current sub answer, we will, let's call it like current XOR. And now again, like in the previous solution, if we have reached, if we are actually more than equal to nums.length, we will just return, what do you say, our current XOR. and that's our answer. Otherwise, what we will do is like we will just say, okay, if what is it with element. Now we take the case where we actually include the element from the array. So we will just say DFS, and it will be term nums. We go to the next element regardless, right? And we will just do current XOR nums idx. That's it, right? So this is the include case. Similarly, we will do the exclude case. So in this case, we will do without element, right? And this time again, we will pass the numbers, but this time we will not do the, what do you say, XOR operation. And in the end, we will just return the sum of it. And now let's run this code. Awesome. Now let's submit it. Cool. Again, the coming to the time complexity, it will be similar to the subsets case where it was n into 2 to the power of n, because we take the call of doing the XOR or not doing the XOR at for each element, and we actually iterate it over the n elements, because this index can go from 0 to n minus 1. I hope this was clear to you. If it helps you, please like and subscribe. Have a nice time.